Man, the Cleer Enduro ANC. Let me turn these things off. Look, man, not only do these things look awesome, they sound amazing. I've also had the pleasure of testing out these Cleer Ally Plus 2. These are awesome too, these true wireless earbuds. They pack a lot of value in these things, man. So, I'm not the expert in this kind of stuff. All I do is slap the headphones on my head and jam out while I'm eating some plantain chips. These are delicious, by the way. That's what I do. Like, I'm not an expert in anything. So, you know what? Let me see if I can get somebody in here to talk about these things. Somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, because obviously I don't. Let me see if I can get somebody from Cleer on the line. Hold up. All right, Aaron, how you doing, man? First of all, tell us about who you are and what you do. And I would like to know where you're at. You're in California, correct?
Yeah, I'm in San Diego. My name is Aaron Levine. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Cleer Audio. I've been in the audio industry for, wow, I'm going to date myself, but close to 20 years now. I started out my career over at Pioneer Electronics, then moved over to Sony Electronics, then also spent some time at Sound United, which covers Denon, Marantz, Hios, and Polk and Definitive Technologies, and then joined up with Cleer, who I found out about through some old contacts of mine that I worked with at Sony, which is kind of how this organization was formed. A couple old Sony friends of mine, we all got together and trying to really push this into the next level for us as far as a startup goes.
Gotcha. Okay, great stuff. So, being that did you say you're a vice president of marketing?
Yep.
All right. With a heavy duty job title like that, you got to know a few things about what this stuff does and what it is. So I'm going to be probing you. I'm going to dig in there because I am not the expert. I just like unboxing things and having a good time, and of course, getting my jam on. So
That's the best kind of knowledge, though. I think that I'm not an engineer, so like there will be some things that'll be beyond my understanding as well. But I'm an enthusiast, and I've always been a fan of technology. So it's kind of how I got into consumer electronics as a profession, and just kind of worked my way up through the ranks through various companies, and kind of learn as you go and ask a lot of good questions like you will to learn more about what really makes sense to consumers, and what are some falsehoods, and then what are things that are actually accurate when you're listening to some headphones or speakers.
Gotcha. I think for a lot of consumers, we're not too well. A lot of us are not concerned with the stuff that you talked about with the engineers and stuff like that. We really do just want to slap a pair of headphones on our head or throw some earbuds in and just have them function and provide a good user experience and some quality music. And I've tried actually both of the two latest products. Correct me if I'm wrong. The two latest are the Enduro ANC and the Ally Plus 2, right?
Correct.
All right, good. And I've had a great experience with both of them. In fact, I decided to try them out today for this podcast machine that I'm using right now. And I'll be honest with you, man, they sound very, very close to my reference Sony headphones here. Let me show you these. These are the ones I typically use, which are monitor headphones. So plugged in wired, these are performing fantastic. I absolutely love them wired, and as well as for ANC headphones. And they work good for, calls like this, of course. But
That's what we like to hear. I mean, we spend a lot of time dialing in not only the mic quality, but the sound performance with the technology that we do offer. So it's good to hear that you're satisfied, and it's filling in nicely for your go-to monitors.
yeah, I'm going to give you a kind of a spoiler here. In my video that I did for the Cleer Enduro ANC, I said that these were going to show up again in my top video at the end of the year, my top 5 or top 10 headphones. I'm not going to spoil you and tell you where they're going to fall, but let's just say they are in there. They are in there, and they're solid. I love them.
Nice.
All right, so let's talk about these Enduro ANCs. So what's the whole concept behind these? What was the idea behind releasing this product, the way it looks and the way it sounds?
Sure. There's a couple elements that fell into place. One, being a young company, we need to do things that are not just par for the course of what you see throughout the industry, which is a lot of similarities in feature sets and design orientations. So we looked at where the holes were in the market, and one of the things that we identified was an affordable ANC product that has long battery life. And what we meant by long battery life wasn't like your typical 30 or 40 hours, what you're seeing in the market. We wanted to really push the elements. And with some of our technology partnerships with specifically Qualcomm, Their latest Bluetooth chipset and chipset that we're leveraging has the ability, combined with our software engineering know-how, to really extend the battery life of a product pretty significantly. So those Enduro ANCs run for 60 hours before needing a charge, and then they have a quick charge function. So you're looking at some circumnavigating of the globe before you need to worry about charging that headphone again.
Yeah, that battery life is absolutely insane. When I saw it, it didn't hit me at first, but I was thinking like these are ANC headphones. So we're getting like at 60 hours, that's just insane for active use of ANC and all the other features. It's just killing it. Um, I'm seeing on the back of this box, the 40 millimeter ironless drivers. This is all stuff that's way above my pay grade here. Like I said, I just want to turn them on and bump my music. So, how do you guys choose, what size drivers you're going to put in here and stuff like that? And there's also something I wanted to ask you if you don't know anything about
Sure.
is a lot of times I get comments in my comment sections, are they loud enough or how loud do they get? So obviously, since we're always using headphones and earbuds and we get older, our hearing degrades. So how do you tackle those issues?
Yeah, let's start the first question with the ironless drivers and the size. So first, a lot of the driver size has to do with the physical size of the headphone.
Okay.
Right? The bigger the headphone, the more room you might have to put an efficient driver. And then, of course, you have to balance the weight of the driver and the amplification of the chipset. So there's a lot that goes into that driver selection. Now, for us specifically, we really got into this ironless driver technology because of the ability to have clear, just like our brand name, sound on a consistent balance when it comes to the listening experience. And so a lot of how we tune the product, and this is kind of what helps us separate us, and what we've learned from working in some big brands across the industry is that once you get something off the line and the engineers put it together, nobody ever sits down and listens to it in a lot of cases. We actually do, and we spend several weeks listening to the product and making tweaks to make sure that not only does it sound via software appropriate with the right frequency curves and the right breakpoints where we would need it to be, but also we wanted to make sure that it sounds realistic when we're listening to real music. So we have, various playlists that we use and go-to music that we're really familiar with. And then we look at the, top of the charts and what's popular right now and how can we make that sound as best as possible within our product. And then, of course, when you add our app element, then you've got the ability to tweak it even further and really customize it to your personal preference. Now, when it comes to how loud does it get, that's really a personal preference. And there's a couple things that go into place here. One, it's the amplification. Two, it's when we make a decision to put out a product, we know that we can get to a certain volume level without any distortion. And that's kind of what our goal is we don't ever want to present a distorted sound quality. Now, when people say, does it get loud enough for me? Well, again, that's personal preference, but it also could signal that there could be some hearing loss. And as we get older, and if you look at the gray in my beard, I'm one of those people. And over time, going to concerts, which I do frequently, and I listen to music, your hearing in certain frequency ranges will start to degrade. And so there might be things that you say it's not loud enough, but it could be something else going on. So it's always good to make sure that you've got hearing health going on, hearing health and in front of mind. And in that overall process of how loud you want to listen to it. So if you use like an Apple device, or I believe Android even has it now, they always have a hearing health thing, like how loud are you listening to your headphones, etc. And I also like to listen to things loud. But what you tend to do is also understand what that loudness is with the source. So if you're just using your phone or your laptop, the quality of the content has a lot to do with it. And then ultimately, have you set your equalizer properly to compensate for any of those deficiencies within those frequency ranges? What's really cool with the Enduro ANC and really the ability to tweak the EQ even more is as you look at the Ally Plus 2 that we just introduced, we're actually introducing a new feature called powered by Mimi Hearing Technology. It's a company out of Germany. They're a handful of years old. And what they do is they specialize in hearing health and working with ways to digitize the hearing experience and then going back and applying algorithms and artificial intelligence basically and doing real-time shifting of the frequency ranges, where as you have certain ranges masking others, it decreases the volume of those frequency ranges and increases the volume of the ones that are being masked so that you have a more balanced sound. And ultimately, again, it's all about how do you hear that clear, concise music, or if you're watching a movie, without any distortion. And so a lot of the lesser known brands or people that are trying to cut corners, you can get them quite loud, but at a certain point, usually about 80 to 90% in the volume, it starts to distort, which it doesn't matter how loud it gets if you can't hear it clearly.
That makes perfect sense. I'm glad you were here to explain that because I would have messed it. Matter of fact, I have messed up trying to explain how that all works. So I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, and everybody goes at it differently. I mean, there's so many sources and headphone amplifiers and external products. First and foremost, like a lot of the volume has to do with your Bluetooth, right?
Mhm.
And what Bluetooth versions that you've got both in your phone as well as in your headphones. And most people have pretty current stuff. So then it goes back to your source quality. Like, are you listening to Spotify, basic, or are you
Yeah.
listening to Spotify hi-fi, or are you a Tidal fan? Like for me, I absolutely love Tidal because I love the high res quality that you can get out of it. And I find that automatically sounds to me a few decibels louder than if I would, at a Spotify level. So I'm really excited about like what Spotify's announced recently with their high res content coming.
Mhm.
Apple just announced their high res service and being able to download and stream some content as well. So there's a lot of fresh content that's coming that's going to sound a hell of a lot better than the low resolution quality that you've probably been streaming through a Spotify or Pandora, or even some like the iHeart radios. And a lot of those, like, it's just like when you're watching TV. And I know that we all do it, and you switch from channel to channel and you're like, holy shit, like this is way louder than this one. Then you got to back down the volume on your receiver. It's not because your speakers are doing anything wrong or your amplifier is doing anything wrong. It's really how the broadcast is being interpreted and being sent out, and you're receiving the signal. So you always have to play around with the sound, the sound volume, so to speak, to get it dialed in properly.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that about like with the television. That was a great reference to that because that's what I experience using YouTube Music. That's my
Yeah.
primary source of listening. It's like, especially when you're listening to some old school stuff, maybe from the 90s or the 80s. It's like, you're jamming, but then something comes on that's a little newer, and it's like, oh snap, this is like 3 clicks higher. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, so now that we're a little bit smarter now, well, at least I
Mhm.
am, because I know this stuff. So you guys listening to this, I know this now. I'm the smart guy. Um, I see a ton of value in these headphones, and I've seen the price. I can't. I'm not going to announce what the price is because it could fluctuate, I guess. But I see a lot of value being put into these headphones as far as what you get for what you're paying. I mean, the comfort is crazy. Like I don't know how long we've been on here, but prior to us actually, recording this, I've had them on probably 20 extra minutes, and I
Mhm.
still feel like they're fresh. They're fresh on my head. I'm not sweating or anything. So got, get some decent ventilation in here, and they're not, I'm a bald head guy. So, I will always feel that crest of my head being, pressured from headphones, but I don't feel it here. It's nice and comfortable there. They're lightweight. We have NFC, ANC, and every other thing that ends with a C in these headphones, including the app. And that's something that we don't get a lot of times that I've seen it in the comments. Some people, may not care about an app. They'll download a third party EQ or something like that. But I see a lot of value in having a dedicated app for a set of headphones. It means a lot to me, especially when you can tweak how much ANC or ambient sound you're getting. So I appreciate that. You want to go ahead and talk about some of the extra value items that have been placed in here?
Sure. Like I said, these are $150.
Mhm.
Our list price. They do periodically go on sale, and so you can find some deals on them throughout the year. But outside of the extended battery life and the quick charging features, we also offer USB-C. The 3.5 millimeter cable that is included is a USB-C to 3.5, so the actual design is pretty minimalistic as a whole. And then you'll get your NFC, which is your quick pairing feature where you can, if your phone is NFC capable, you can touch it to the left ear cup and it'll pair to your phone as far as a Bluetooth method, or you can just do the traditional way with pressing and holding the power button to get the pairing mode on. In addition to that, we got a transparency mode. So ultimately, when you have noise cancellation on, you're trying to filter out as much of the ambient noise as possible. But there is opportunity that when you're on an airplane, you need to order that drink or get that snack before, and talk to the flight attendant, but you don't want to remove your headphones. You've got that ambient feature to allow the outside noise in, so you can hear clearly and be able to have that conversation.
Yeah.
In addition to that, with the Clear Plus app, it gives you a little bit different of a element of customization. So not only could you rename the product in your Bluetooth setting, but you could also go in there and get firmware updates. You can check the battery time that's remaining, and you can adjust the EQ and stop, start, skip tracks as well. That's through the app. And then we're continuing looking at ways to improve that and add new features. So although we've got the Mimi functionality coming to the Ally Plus 2, we are exploring how to do that on the Enduro ANC as well to add added value and continue to feature up and give the consumers really a solid value in this mid-range price point. And we're really excited about bringing this to market. We spent a lot of time designing it and making sure that we could appeal in a non-traditional way with our navy colorway or our light gray version of it.
Yeah, y'all are bringing the heat, that's for sure, in these Enduro ANCs. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a lot of these. Um, I remember when we talked once before, you talked about being in an airport. Is there a kiosk at the airport? What is that?
In motion.
Okay, so are these gonna
Yeah,
be at
yeah.
the airport?
Yeah, they are. Both the Ally Plus 2 and the Enduro ANC can be found at there's about 30 in motion locations that we're available in. And so it's spread out in multiple major airports. And then we're working with the in motion team to expand even further um, as well.
Sweet. Sweet. I love that. I love that. That means we're gonna be seeing more of them, and that's gonna be great for everybody involved because these are great products. You did mention the Ally Plus 2, which is what I want to get into next because
Sure.
this, in my opinion, is a great representation of the over ear. The over ears usually give you a better experience, right? Because it's over
Yeah,
ear
absolutely.
headphones, it's close you're gonna get. But this is a great representation of what you're getting inside of the over ear. So let's talk about these a little bit. You want to go ahead and start off with maybe some of your favorite points of these right here?
Sure. Their noise cancellation, we still focused on the long battery life capabilities of what we've been going through with Enduro ANC. Although these will run for 60 hours, they do have a total runtime of 33 hours before you have to recharge the case. So that's 11 hours with the earbuds, 22 with the case. So you got additional 2 charges if they're drained all the way down. And then if you want to get the battery range with noise cancellation active, it's 10 hours and then an additional 20 hours. So you get 3 full charges basically before you need to plug in this case. We also allowed for additional functionality. So the left earbud and the right earbud, based on the tap sequences, do different things. And that's everything between volume control, noise cancellation, ambient mode toggling, as well as track play, pause, skip as well. And then, of course, there is an in-ear sensor so that if you do remove an earbud, it automatically pauses the content that you're listening to.
Okay, so there we go again, packing a ton of value added items into one product. I want to go on to this battery life. So 10
Sure.
hours, you said 10 hours with active noise cancellation on?
Yes.
All right, that's actually incredible. There are companies that just cannot do that. So let me give you a round of applause. They'll advertise a certain number of hours and then it says, in asterisks, with the noise canceling on, it's like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's battery management is something that we've really focused on. We saw this as an opportunity that wasn't being served for consumers,
Mhm.
and that ranges. I mean, it even gets even worse when you look at when you use the microphones for phone calls.
Okay.
So a lot of the top brands will go from, let's say they got a 6 hour battery life, and then you add noise cancellation, then you dropped it down to 5 hours or 4 hours, and then you add a phone call in there. So let's say you're in that airport, then you really chop that in half again, because as you
Wow.
add additional elements and you're tapping in that mic, it really drains it. We really tried to focus on giving a consumer the longest possible battery life with the best experience possible with all the features on as well. So we're pretty strong in that area if and reliable. And then of course, if you need a quick charge because you drained them, 5 minutes will get you another hour.
All right. And if I'm not mistaken, these have do they have wireless charging? Oh, they do. Yeah.
They do, yeah.
Okay.
The case is wireless charging.
All right. So yeah, with when it comes to battery life, these are definitely top of the mark right there. And that's great because we're talking, when we're talking 10 hours or even well, let's just bring it down to 8 hours. That's a full
Mhm.
workday for a lot of people. So these are literally going to get you through an entire workday plus just on a single charge. You can actually do a full work day, get on a train and commute and be home without ever having to use your case. So that's pretty remarkable right there.
Yeah,
Speaking of
that's
the case, why the clear clear? You see what I did there?
I like it. You're buying in. You're buying in.
I'm in
Good.
there,
My
man.
my work is taking effect.
You got me, dude. You got me. So why the clear? Why the clear the glass panel on the case? This is nice, by the way. I love it. It's a really nice touch. If y'all can see that right there, that is you can see clear through it. So what was the concept behind this?
So when we looked at like a kind of a jewelry box style case, so one, we want to show off the design. It's a
Okay.
really beautiful element to it, but then there's some functionality. So for those of you that use, true wireless earbuds, you all, if they're not see through, you don't always know if they're sitting properly. And the worst thing to do is to pull out a pair of earbuds when you need to use them and they're not charged because they weren't sitting in your case. So what this does is it gives the consumer the ability to confirm that they're charging properly, both earbuds, not just one, as well as just to see them sitting properly, so you know that if you put them back you can see them. If you didn't, you got to look for them somewhere.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so the design is great. I love the design. I like that bold design. And you know what? Before I forget to ask, I'm just going to be that guy who asks for things.
Sweet.
I like matching. I love this cream brown color. I love it. But you know what? I really like this too. This blue is, if you have not seen this in real life, the people out there watching, if you have not seen the blue in real life, it's going to make you salivate. What other color does this have in it?
So this also has a midnight blue. I'll get that in
Oh,
there.
I'm salivating. That's gorgeous.
So
So
again, to do things like, everybody does black, everybody's doing gunmetal, and we want to do a little bit different of an element to it, and we even have some metallic aspects to it. When you see how that kind of
yeah,
looks, kind
that
of
is
just
super nice.
pops
Hang
the
on,
light a little bit on it.
let me blow you up a little bit. Put that back up there. Let me see that. That's it. Okay. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the look of them. I like that it's different, yet it doesn't call too much attention or unwanted attention, I should say, because, aesthetics mean a lot when it comes to headphones and earbuds. And I would say, particularly earbuds, because you're roaming around with these things in your ears like all day sometimes. So the aesthetics are great. And I noticed that mine actually came with two types of earbuds. You got this traditional, almost a dome style of earbud.
Yeah, the
And
rounded.
yeah, and then you have that almost cone or yeah, it's a cone
Yeah,
shape.
the angled ear tips. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the deal with that?
So there's two things. One, for noise cancellation earbuds, like part of the challenge is to make sure you have a secure fit, not only for the noise cancellation to be effective, but
Mhm.
also for you to get the full frequency range of those earbuds. So if you don't have a secure fit in your ear, you're not getting the full experience of the product. And so we know that there's so many different ear types and ear canal types. Some are big, some are small, some are weirdly angled, but we do know that people like to use these for exercising. They walk with them. Like, you're not going to be sitting at your desk all day wearing these earbuds. So we actually offered up, we have 5 normal ear tips. So extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large when rounded. And then we offered 3 sizes of the angled ear tips to try and cover as much of a wide berth of consumers' ears that we could, so that we could get secure fits across the board and make sure they have the best possible experience, both sonically and noise cancellation wise.
Yeah, that's something that in a lot of my videos I try to point out that you gotta get a good seal or you're gonna think whatever earbud you have is crap. So you definitely got to get that good
Absolutely.
seal. And I'm glad y'all included so many ear tips. Is that a costly thing for the company to do, or is it's something you just kind of throw in there?
It's a couple of pennies. It's, it's all about consideration, right? Like, we're
Right.
we're a new brand and we want to be as thoughtful as possible. So, not only from our out of box experience, so we want to make sure that you're getting every dollar value out of it as you can.
Mhm.
So we pay a lot of attention to that, but also like the fit and finish. Like, we don't want to be seen as a inexperienced or inexpensive brand. We want to be a premium, affordable brand, so to speak, so that you're getting a high value for every penny that you're paying us to produce this product. So we spent a lot of time and care going over the details like that. And one of the elements that we knew that wasn't very expensive for us to invest in is the multiple ear tip approach.
Mm, okay. Well, you know what? I'm seeing it from the unboxing experience. I know once you purchase your product, you open it and you probably never see that box again. But Let me tell you, my friend, that is an experience. I smell my packages. I don't know about you, but I smell it, man. If it don't smell like new stuff, I got to take it back. But yeah, the unboxing experience is top notch. I feel like I'm really getting a quality product even before I put it in my hands or my ears. And you follow suit with that once you actually and you connect it and it just works the way it's supposed to, and it feels like a good quality product. So mission accomplished on those fronts as far as looking like a so how new is the brand?
So there was a little bit of start and stop. So they originally formed in 2012, focusing on the DJ market,
Okay.
but the DJ market at that point in time was kind of faltering, and
Mhm.
so they pulled things back in. They went a little bit dormant, and then they brought in our current CEO Patrick Wong to lead the brand in late 2015, early 2016, and that really kicked off what you're seeing today with our product lineups and general direction what we've done. And I joined the organization about 2.5 years ago.
Wow. Okay. So really not that long as far as like audio companies, but I mean, you guys look real seasoned to me. You look like veterans. So I'm enjoying the products. I love what I'm seeing coming out of Clear. I've seen some other stuff that's in the lineup that's coming soon. Can we talk about that at all before we get out of here or no?
Of course we can.
Okay,
How could
hey,
I not come on and talk more about stuff that nobody is seeing?
hey man, let's hear it, man.
So we have another earbud that's going to enter the lineup at the end of this week. So this is kind of breaking news for you.
Oh, at the
Um,
end of this week.
oh yeah, end of this week they just landed, so we'll be going live either Thursday or Friday on our website, and then we'll be live on Amazon shortly after that. But the
Okay.
Roam NC, which is our entry level noise canceling earbuds, so they're a little bit smaller than what you'd see with the Ally Plus 2, but they start out at $59.99. So again, a high value product. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that you'd see in the Ally Plus 2, but it does offer some pretty good noise canceling capability, as well as sonically they sound pretty good. And then their battery life is a lot smaller, but we have a lot shorter of a or smaller of a case. So you can see kind of my test sample
Oh
that I've
yeah.
been using,
Okay.
how small they are. So if you look at my hand, and I'm pretty reasonable in my overall size, but they're not very big at all. And I'm going to give you just kind of the basic post-it note example to show you how small we went with the case. And these are the in-ear earbuds as
Yeah.
well. And again, going after the entry level market, but really trying to focus on simplicity in form factor, making sure that it can be accessorized with as many people as possible, and then offer good phone quality as well as some decent battery life. So although that this will be 20 hours in total, including the case, it still offers a pretty reasonable experience when it comes to the overall experience.
Awesome. So these are coming up next week,
This
right?
week,
This week.
this week,
So
yeah, we should be live with them by Friday.
so today's
So
Wednesday. We got 2 days, and I'm gonna see these on Amazon. Okay.
now you should see them on Amazon, but you should see them on our site probably a little bit first, because Amazon's got to receive the product, and they're a little bit slow sometimes.
Gotcha. Okay. I need to talk to my man Jeff about the getting y'all stuff in there faster. Let's get Jeff Bezos on here and talk to that fella.
You might have to phone them in space by that time.
Oh yeah, he is leaving, huh? Man, talk about going on vacation. Golly.
Seriously, forward all my calls. I'm going to the moon.
Yeah, I thought I was doing something when I went to Cancun. This man is leaving. He's he's gone.
I don't know. I like your style of vacation better than his.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I don't want to keep you all day, but I want to get to know you a little bit better. So, as a marketing executive for a company called Clear that just came out, leading the pack, who's behind this company? Who are you? Who's Aaron? Let's get to know that guy.
I'm just a guy. Honestly, like I'm an enthusiast. I got into this industry, when I was fairly young, and had some experience in public relations, and then joined Pioneer Electronics to do their in-house PR. But ultimately, like I'm a fan. Like I was trying to build my own equipment. I was trying to piece together stuff out of my parents' garage. Anything that was old lying around, I was trying to pull it out and hook it up in my room between stereo systems. Always into it as an enthusiast. And then, career wise, it just kind of fell into place. It's like now I could do two things. I could work and I could play with a lot of toys. And so over the years, I've spent a lot of time with engineers and launching, hundreds of products at this point,
Mhm.
across multiple disciplines in the audio space and video space. And you just start asking a lot of questions like you are with me, and you pick up a lot from some really intelligent people that just kind of, they get it. And then when you ask those right questions and you start to get it, and then it just spirals and you share your love and your passion for what you do in the industry with a broader group of people, and you try to get more fans, not only of your own brand, but of the industry and listening to music. And first and foremost, I'm a music fan. I mean, you can see the posters behind me. I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan. I've seen
Yeah.
them, a ton.
Uh-huh.
I love live music. I was so happy as these COVID restrictions here in San Diego, or at least the first weekend we could do anything. I was at a Ziggy Marley concert, just because it was there, and just wanted to take the
Oh,
family out and go experience some live music again. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, when it comes into the audio business, like, how do you get that live music at home? And it's kind of what makes it a lot of fun, to be able to create those experiences for people all over the country.
man, I love that. I love hearing that you're actually doing something that you genuinely love. Not a lot of people get that opportunity. Well, I guess we all can have the opportunity. It's just to really pursue it and make it happen. So, congratulations to you for being in an industry where you can be you. You just do Aaron, and enjoy what
Hey,
you're doing.
I appreciate that, and you're not too shabby yourself. It seems like you fit in pretty well into this YouTube environment. These
Yeah.
question and answers, and how much fun you're having doing your YouTube channel. I mean, it's what it's all about. I mean, if you can't go to work every day and enjoy what you do, not only in a practical sense, but overall, like with what your company does and the products that they put out or the services that they do. I mean, you're kind of just going to go home and you're not going to be as fulfilled. But
Yeah.
having to work for some really top-notch brands with some incredible people over the years, it just kind of continues to inspire you to do more and to do better and to continue to that evolution of not only the brand but of the products that they produce, because brands are only as good as the products that they can create and the stories that they can tell, and that's what makes it a lot of fun. Throughout my career, being able to do that across multiple categories and multiple product launches. I mean, it's been a fun go.
That's true. And just, it's a huge bonus having real fans working in that industry, as yourself, as someone who's a lifelong fan. You're not just working a job. You're really doing you, which turns into work somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, it drives some engineers crazy when I can't tell them technically what's going on, but I can give them my opinion of, this is how it sounds. This is what you get.
Yeah.
This is where it's going to go. Here are the songs that I did. Go back to this point. 1 minute 30 to 1 minute 56, and listen to this track and listen to how this is recreated. Now go listen to it on this bigger system and get the headphones to sound like that.
Oh man.
And it's being an enthusiast, but listening to music and knowing your go-to tracks. Like my biggest advice for anybody that's shopping for any kind of audio equipment: have your go-to stuff, the stuff that you sing out loud in your car, that you sing in your shower, stuff that you've seen live in concert, but things that you've heard in multiple ways, so that that if it sounds bad on a headphone, you'll know pretty quickly. If it's a
Mm,
poorly tuned product, whether it's a speaker or an amplifier, you'll know if you go back to your go-to songs and listen to it as best as possible and in the best possible resolution. So investing in like some high-res services or the premium services in some of these streaming stuff, it's really important as you go through that process. It's the best piece of advice that I could give anybody is go with that music that from start to finish, so you can pick out those nuances. And then every once in a while, you'll get that piece of equipment that just blows you away because you'll hear something new, or you
yep.
hear refresh, and it's the same track. It's from the same album. It's not a new cut, not a new remaster, but it just gets you. And you hear that little nuance, you're like, all right, I'm sold. And that could range from a fairly reasonably priced product to a really expensive product. I've had those experiences across multiple price points.
Yeah, I've actually been there myself. But you actually just made me think about something. You actually get to be a part of the process. So you get to hear like the prototypes and stuff, like with the engineers. Oh
Yep.
man, I would love to. I'm getting a firsthand account of what it's like for you, but I want to experience that. I want to talk to one of these engineers and say, "Hey, man, I need some more bass in here."
It's good and it's bad, right? It's a double-edged sword, because you get into those conversations, and the next thing you know is that you're texting and emailing with all night as they're trying to dial in the sound before they finish the software update to the headphone and they do the first evaluations of it. But it's also a lot of fun because when you do hit that sound and that experience that you want, it's a lot of gratification, that you know that you got a really great sounding product, and that's what makes it a lot of fun working in the audio industry. I mean, it's that immediate result of good versus bad when you know you've nailed it. You've nailed it, and the fans, definitely let you know both ways.
Oh man. Okay. Well, yeah, you gotta be careful what you ask for, I guess. That's for sure. Well, Aaron, man, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I'm sure you got other stuff to do than talk to me, but I'm glad you did it anyways.
Hey, this is Antoine. This is the best part of my day, being able to talk to you and other fans about audio product as a whole, but also within the brand. I mean, this is what we do, and it's fun to share our excitement, enthusiasm for the industry.
Hey, once again, I appreciate you being here and sharing all of that with us because now I'm even better informed, and even you've given me some advice on some other stuff. But I cannot wait to see what else Clear has to offer. I'm gonna keep my eye open for these earbuds coming out on. You said it was Friday, right?
Friday,
All right, don't be
we'll get
late.
you a pair to talk about soon.
All right, don't be late with that. I
Hey,
have to call Jeff.
you'll be one of the first. You get people have to tune back into you shortly to listen to your next experience with the Rome NCs.
Outstanding. Can't wait, man. All right. Well, you take care over there in the West Coast and try to stay cool. I heard it's heating up pretty good over there, huh? Y'all getting that Texas heat over that way.
A little bit, but not too bad here in San Diego. It's more in the north aspect of it, San Francisco and above. So we're still a little bit temperate. We'll be in the high 70s today. So I don't want to
Yeah.
brag, but
Yeah, you didn't have
I
to throw
mean I
that in my
can't
face.
complain.
Yeah, you just like rubbing it in. I always tell people that Houston, Texas is like the armpit of the United States because it's like hot and moist and so- all right, all right, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to the rest of your day. I really do appreciate you stopping by. We're gonna end it there.
All right, thanks for having me, Antoine. Appreciate it.
All
Talk
right,
to
have
you
a good
again
one.
soon.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me get this straight. You sat through this whole video, the whole thing, and never once decided to hit the subscribe button or the like button? Man, it'd be the ones closest to you. I see how you are.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?